Hello, everyone, and welcome. I was looking for inspiration for this video, and I got some guidance that had me turn on the radio when I was in the car. And of course, the song that came up did inspire me, as it does sometimes. And that song went like this. It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. Now, why do they tell you that? And is it really the most wonderful time of the year? Sometimes it's a lonely time. And today I'm going to give you 3 reasons why the holidays can be difficult and some suggestions that might just help make it easier for you or for a loved one that you have. Hello, I'm Carol DeChaine, your intuitive spiritual guide for practical matters and certified Marconic energy recalibration practitioner. The holidays are just great for some people, and other people, it's a horrible time of depression and loneliness. And I hope that you have great joy, but if you don't, you definitely aren't alone, although it may feel like it sometimes, I will admit. 3 reasons that you might not be enjoying these holidays. I'm going to go through them and look and see if you or a loved one you have fits in any of these categories. And hopefully, the suggestions that go along with them will help you move through a little more ease this time and maybe even more ease in the following years. So the first reason that you might find that you or someone else just is not into the holidays at all is that it's so commercial that people just harden their hearts against it. Perhaps you or they had a great upbringing. You had really wonderful, lovely Christmases when you were younger, but between commercials, the start for Christmas before Halloween, and the Hallmark Channel showing movies for Christmas in July, it might be a little bit much for you. And you probably even have people asking you for presents that are just, give me the cash. Forget about, gift card, cash. Forget about going and finding that perfect gift for someone, wrapping it, and being excited on Christmas Day. Instead, they tell you what they want, and all you get is, here, hand me the money, or give me the cash. And that's enough to drive you batty, let alone the fact if you start going past the Christmas tree lot on the corner and you start gnashing your teeth, it might be time for you to rethink the way that you deal with the holidays so that you don't have these problems anymore. So a suggestion I have for you is to remember back. Was there a time when you loved Christmas? When you were younger, how did you feel about Christmas? Remember those things about Christmas that really, really made you happy, that made you feel good about what you were doing and about the family or the friends that you were hanging out with during that time. What made Christmas special for you? And then bring back some of those things into your life, the things that you can recreate or make them even better, adjust them to something even better that makes a difference for you. And then try and ignore all the rest of that stuff that drove you crazy, because you can't help it if they have commercials for Christmas in October, but you can help how you feel and how you deal with that feeling. The second reason why you might not be all that happy around the holidays is that there was some sort of traumatic event that either left you alone or it left you feeling like you didn't want to be around certain people around the holidays. Maybe that's family, and maybe it's friends or former friends. So if death or divorce or some sort of abuse come up that leave you feeling just in a horrible place at the holiday season in general, it's okay, because it's normal to not feel good around that time if you've had something awful happen for you. So give yourself time to heal. Give yourself that gift. Now, if you can, look at holidays that have gone by. Remember what made them so special and so wonderful, if they were. Bask in that wonderment, and know that if you can pull strength from that beauty that you may have already had, and you felt it before, that you can feel it again in a different way. And maybe not at this Christmas or this holiday season, but you can definitely feel it again. And if you can't go there without pain or bitterness or regret or anything that feels negative and heavy to you in a denser vibration, then don't even think about that right now. And if you aren't ready to heal, then even if you can do a percentage or two of healing without fully putting your whole heart into it, but if you can find a therapist for some deeper healing or a life coach or even a minister, if you go to them and say, look, I don't know if I'm ready to heal totally right now, but I need to talk, I need to do something. And they should be able to help you, or we, if you're looking at life coaching, which I am, they'll be able to help you to move part of what you're feeling, even if you're not 100% ready to move on. And if you tried this before and you really didn't do much or do well, don't give up, because you may not have been ready, or maybe it just wasn't the right person for you, the right therapist or the right coach, or just the right person. So give yourself that gift when you're ready. If you can even just, like I say, heal like a percentage or two, you're going to feel so, so much better than where you were before. The third reason that you may not be happy is just that you're alone. Some people are not cut out to be alone because they're just lonely when they're alone. And other people are just used to being by themselves. They don't feel it like their loneliness, they just feel alone. And it's not a big deal. But if you're someone that being alone during the holidays is really hard for, and it may be the first time, or maybe it just got to you finally this time, where you just are having a really hard time, there are a lot of things you can do about that. You don't have to choose to be alone. And you may say, hey, no, everybody left me. And I say, no, you still have a choice on who and what you're around. Maybe this holiday season's a little too soon, but if you look around, first, where's your family? Are you close, or do you want to be close to them? You can choose to try again if it's a family member. You can try and be with them, or maybe if they're gone, or they're just totally gone as far as you're concerned, because they're not dead, they're just not in your life, that's okay. But you can choose to have other people that become like family. I have some girlfriends that are so close to, that I feel like they're my sisters, with no disrespect to my blood sister. It's people that I've cultivated in relationships that I know I can depend on. I know they'll be there for me, and I'm always open for me to go to their house if I feel alone, Christmas or otherwise. So you can cultivate friends like that. And like I said, if you don't have them right now, you can go out of your way, start talking to people, finding things you're interested in, so that you can go out and find these people and create your own family of friends that become like that group that's so close. And right now, if you don't want to be alone and you don't have anyone that you can invite yourself over to their house because they're friends, perhaps you can find someone you don't know as well who's having what they might call an orphan Christmas. If you're on your own and you want to be with other people on their own, get to know some people, you might want to go there. And there are also plenty of things you can find on social media. Thank goodness for that sometimes, and sometimes not so much, but it can help you find places that you can go if you're willing to take a step sometimes out of that comfort zone, but then you will not be alone. There are also things you can do if you love Christmas. Just enjoy it. It's okay if you're alone. Find ways to be not lonely. The first time I should say, after both of my parents had died, it was 2006, I believe. And I was totally alone. There was no significant other. No, my mother had just died, my father 2 years before her, and my sister lived far enough away, and it wasn't easy for me to go there that year. So I sat there, decided I didn't build a tree, I decorated a tree, I got one, and I got myself a really good dinner on Christmas Eve, which was always our day to celebrate. And I got a decadent dessert that I went out and bought. And then I did something I'd never done before. And I've done it one other time since then. My mother had requested that when we cleaned out their house, I found love letters that my dad had written my mom, and my mom had written my dad, in two separate stacks in two separate drawers of the secretary that they had. And she had asked me never to read them until they were gone. And I said, okay. So that Christmas, I had two stacks, and I had my amaretto in one hand, and I started reading these letters that were from the 40s, I believe, right after World War II. They had separated, and they weren't going to get back together. But I read the first one that wrote, and then I read them back and forth like a novel, chronologically. And I felt so close to them. It was so beautiful. And I learned so much about them because, I mean, one thing, my dad, who lived in Brainerd, farmer, couldn't sing on key to save his life. I found out that he played the trumpet when he was a child or a teenager. And he had taken it out again at that point to try it. Unbelievable. I had no idea, and neither did my sister. So I not only felt close to them, but I felt like they were even in the room with me. And I felt loved. And it was a beautiful, moving moment. And it was one of the best Christmas Eves I've ever had because they were there with me in my heart. And you can do things like that. You can create your own special moments even if you're alone. Don't think you can't. The whole thing about Be Christmas is that you feel connected. You feel love for whoever is in your life and whoever was in your life. Holidays are just an excuse and a reminder to do it all year round. So if you don't like how you feel during the holidays, please, please find a way to change your current reality. And if it's not for today and this year, make it for next, so that you can be happy now and all year round. That's my wish for you. Thank you for joining me today. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe and click the bell notification so that you know the next time I send out a video. And if you'd like to hear more about me, my coaching packages, Marconic recalibration and no-touch sessions, as well as energy space clearings, do check out my website at www.connect2joy.com, connect2joy.com, and that'll be below the video, of course. Thank you so much again for joining me. Until next time, bye-bye.